everyone, my name is Dustin Brown and I will be leading your class today. How is everyone doing this afternoon? As we talk, I want you to begin by starting our warm-up. I want you to start with marching in place. So I just want you to lift your knees up and march in place nice and slow. So if you need any type of extra flotation device, such as a pool noodle, or if you need to use the pool wall for extra balance, that's totally okay. You can ask me for the noodle, or you can just walk over to the side wall there. And we want to begin this warm-up smooth and slow. We do not want to make any type of sudden movements that are going to cause our body to jerk one way or the other. We're really trying to avoid that. We just want it to be, like I said, slow and smooth, so we can avoid any type of injury or unnecessary things to happen. Now, I also want everyone to focus on their breathing as we move through these warm-ups. And I know this has been an absolutely crazy month with everything that's going on, and we're lucky to be in the water today. So I think we can come up with a new nickname for this month. So it's March, so I think we can call it Mayhem March, because this month has been absolutely chaotic. And I know because it's been crazy that some people might not have realized that we were having class again. So just go ahead, you can tell everyone that we are back in class. Just communicate with everyone. So in class today, I want to continue with the theme of Mayhem March. It's going to be a little crazy and upbeat. So I want you to, what we're going to do is it's going to be circuits. Now, I know it's been a while, so everyone might not know or remember what a circuit is. So I'm going to go ahead and explain it. Most people think of circuits as stations. So each section of the pool, you're going to do something different. So each station is going to have a individual thing or exercise that it does for a certain amount of time. So in this case, we're going to be doing them for 1 minute at a time, and we're going to be working on strengthening muscles, using balance, and some endurance, and using our full range of motion. So we really want to use our full range of motion during these because it's best for our joints, and it adds some difficulty to the exercise because when you're in the water, a long lever, so using your full range of motion, will give you the greatest benefits and will make it the most challenging. So now let's go ahead and change the exercise up one more time for our warm-up, and I want you to go ahead and do this for a few moments to make it more challenging and just to continue getting warm. So I want you to go ahead and do arm raises, and when you come up, I want you to work on bending your wrists and opening and closing your fingers. So when you come up, go ahead and bend your wrists up, kind of like a bird, and have your fingers spread out. So then when you come back down, bend your wrists up and close your fingers. So make sure they're closed after. And this will work your wrist muscles, your fingers, shoulders, and just your arms in general. So now through these circuits, I'm going to talk about them as you do those for a moment. We are going to cover those groups that we talked about. We're going to use the strengthening groups, the balance groups, and we're going to have cardiorespiratory endurance groups. Now these groups might be all used in one. So like we might have a group that does strengthening and balance, or we might have a group that does cardiorespiratory endurance and strengthening. So it can be 2 in 1. Okay, so now that everybody's nice and warm, we're going to go ahead and move to some flexibility and range of motion activities. Now we're on to flexibility and range of motion. So I want everyone to do these exercises for 30 seconds apiece. So we're going to start with chin tucks. So everyone go ahead and get started. Just go ahead and push your head forward and then pull it back. And you almost want to think of it as like making a double chin. So now let's go ahead and move to head turns. We're just going to turn our head one way and the other and we're gonna do all these exercises in this section for 30 seconds apiece. So now that it's been 30 seconds, let's go ahead and go to the diagonal arm reach. So just go ahead and bring your arm up across your body and back down, and just work your full range of motion through this. So now let's go ahead and let's do shoulder blade squeezes. So if you don't know what those are, everybody just look at me, and we're gonna pull our shoulder blades back and then forward and then back and forward. So again, 30 seconds apiece on those. So then we're just gonna go to some arm swings now, and just move your arm through its full range of motion while doing these arm swings. Okay, so now let's move to trunk rotations. If you guys have a noodle, you can use your noodle for this and hold on to that. If not, it's fine. But just go ahead and do trunk rotations back and forth for 30 more seconds. Then let's go to some side trunk bends now that it's been 30 seconds. So we're gonna go ahead and go to the side like this. And then after 30 seconds of those, we'll be good. So we've done a lot of upper body now. Let's go ahead and move to some lower body flexibility and range of motion. We're going to do what I like to call open and closing the gate. So go ahead and lift your leg and then turn out, then back in and down. And then the same thing for the other side. Okay, great. So now that it's been 30 seconds, let's go ahead and go straight leg raises. So everybody just lift your right leg straight up and then your left leg. And just keep going up and down for that. Then for our last exercise, let's do ankle rotations for 30 seconds. So just go ahead and rotate your ankle and then switch to the other one. We'll do both of those for 30 seconds. Okay, so now we're going to move on to our circuit training. So our circuit training will have 4 different stations, and each round we'll go around to each 4 and we'll perform a different exercise at each. So for the first station we're going to do moving balance, but we're going to use the progression too. So what that is it's basically a game of red light and green light. So think back to when you were kids and you would yell out red light and green light in the pool. This is exactly what we're going to do. So on green light, you're going to move, and on red light, you're going to stop. But the catch is you got to move your arms in some direction when you stop, so you have to work with your balance. At the second station, you guys are going to be performing mini squats, so just going down and up. And then for our third station, we are going to be using cross-country skis. So just going back and forth, full range of motion. And then for the fourth station, we're going to be performing jumping jacks. So the fourth group of people just do jumping jacks up and down, and we'll do each station for a minute, and then we're going to rotate in a circle. So after I blow the whistle for 1 minute, or I yell, hey, we're done, go ahead and move to the next station. We'll have a little break, and then we're going to go into our second circuit. There's going to be a total of 4 circuits. For our second circuit, the first station, we're going to go in the same order, moving around everybody. So now that you've had your break, we're going to go ahead and everybody in this first station, you're going to do lunges. So you're just going to go down and up. The second station, you're going to do side leg raises. So just right out to the side and back down. Station number 3, you're going to do dance steps. That's just stepping to the side and tapping, and it's like you're dancing. And then the fourth station, you're just doing forward and backward walking. We're really going to work that balance in this station. So now everybody go ahead and go. Get started. We're going to start the first minute now. So now that we've been through all the circuits for this one, or all the stations, you've had your little break, we're going to move on to our third circuit. So at the first station, you're going to do leg circles for this one. The second station, you are going to march in place. So just like the warm-ups, you're going to go up and down and make sure you march in place. Your third station, you guys are going to be rowing with your arms. So you're going to get in a position and you're just going to row with your arms. In station number 4, you're going to go back to your childhood days and you're going to be playing hopscotch. So you're just going to be jumping in and out just like you would with hopscotch. Okay, so now that everyone's finished that circuit and you're feeling nice and tired probably, we've given you that break and we're going to move on to our fourth and final circuit. So the first station of your final circuit is going to be a standing balance. It's going to be the third progression of it. You're going to stand on one foot and hold your balance, bring your arms up to a touchdown, and then back down, and then other foot, and up and down. Then the second station of people, you're going to be performing golf swings. So it's going to be like one of your everyday activities for some of you, but just make sure you're doing those. Third station, you're going to be jumping rope. So just act like you have a jump rope and just jump up and down with your jump rope. And then the fourth station, I want everybody to move over to the wall and you're going to perform wall push-ups for that amount of time. So 1 minute each station and then we'll rotate, okay? And then that will be the last one and we'll move to your cool down and relaxation. Okay, everybody, so for our cool down, I want everybody to start with a hip flexor stretch. So just go ahead and lean forward and make sure you feel the pressure through your hip flexor. Now, while you hold that, you guys did an amazing job today. And I'm proud of all the hard work that you've put into this session. So real quick, everybody go ahead and move to a hamstring stretch. So put your leg out and just lean forward until you can feel that stretch. So now, everybody, do not forget that you can perform some exercises and move between sessions. It's important that you do that, and the entire time that you aren't just sitting down and relaxing when you aren't here. It's important to keep moving, keep your blood flowing. So now go ahead, everybody, and grab your foot with your hand and do a quad stretch. And we're going to go ahead and stretch that leg out as well, that muscle out. So go ahead and hold that for 10 to 15 seconds. And then we'll move to another. So now we're going to move to a calf stretch. So just go ahead and make sure this foot is flat on the floor and then stretch your calf out. It is going to look similar to a hip flexor stretch. So now make sure everyone's paying attention to which week it is. Easter's coming up soon, so we won't be having class on that Wednesday or Friday. So now go ahead and just do a couple trunk rotations at the end here, and we're going to move on to our guided imagery. So to end class, this is one of my favorite techniques. I want you to start with closing your eyes. Just stand on both feet and move your weight from one side to the other of your body. Now I want you to think of a happy place, and I want you to think of somewhere you feel fully relaxed and that you enjoy being. For some of you, it might be the beach. For some of you, it might just be at your house being alone. Or it might be with your wife somewhere, or just your spouse or anything, or your children. So just think of this happy place and think of the smells and look at where you are. And use these images and smells and maybe even sounds to really just guide you through this and help you relax.